Evening all, welcome to SUTV Live. We are back at Bramall Lane, which was bouncing just a few days ago as league leaders Burnley were blown away. Tonight there's points and pride on the line as the Blades face South Yorkshire rivals Rotherham United on a soggy night here in the Steel City. Kickoff is at 7:45. Before then we'll bring you all of the important team news and hear from the likes of Jack Robinson, Enda Stevens, George Baldock and Stuart McCall. And for all the match pass information and broadcasting regulations for tonight's game, go to the website sufc.co.uk. Welcome back to our studio here at Bramall Lane. What are we expecting tonight after that incredible performance on Saturday against Burnley, I wonder? Well, to chat all things Blades between now and 7:45, let's bring in our studio guest tonight. Mark Duffy is here. Evening, Mark.
Evening.
How do they follow that up from the weekend?
Yeah, obviously it's a big task, but it's a great game. You know, they know if they win tonight, they can go top of the league. So, perfect, opportunity.
And making a debut tonight with us, at least, Maddy Cusack. Good to see you. How are you?
Good, thank you.
What kind of a statement do you think that sent out, that result on Saturday, to the rest of the division?
Yeah, I think to play the league leaders and to play a team that are looking to obviously go up like ourselves and put 5 past them, again, is a big statement. And if they can carry on their form and win tonight, like Mark said, it'll put us in a great position.
Well, let's have a look at the team news then. That is now in, and it's nice and straightforward because it's the same team that starts this evening. So just the one change on the bench, James McAtee comes onto the bench tonight, but it is the same starting 11. So no surprise really after the performance like that, eh? No,
definitely no surprise. But looking at the team, it's the experience that they've got in that team. For me, you only have to look at it, and they have so much quality, but experience, and for me that's definitely something that you need in the Championship.
Confidence must be sky high just now, I would have thought.
Yeah, 100%, especially like we've just said, after winning in such fashion at the weekend and the form that they've been in lately, all the players will be confident ahead of tonight's game.
I'm going to use this word a lot tonight, I think, complacency, and guarding against that, because everyone of a Sheffield United persuasion will be heading down to Bramall Lane tonight thinking, well, 3 points on the board, no problem.
Yeah, definitely, and that's obviously, fans coming into the ground, they'll be expecting us to win quite comfortably, but obviously because you have just beat top of the league, but the Championship is renowned for being such a difficult league. It's a local derby, and there's a lot at stake, so they can't be complacent at all.
We'll talk more about Rotherham later, but just looking at their recent results, not the results necessarily that they've been looking for, but certainly they've been in games, and the games that they have lost have only been by the odd goal.
Yeah, 100%. They ran Norwich close, unlucky probably to get something out of the game. A tough game against Burnley on Wednesday night, which of course played over 100 minutes and were unlucky really with maybe an unlucky sending off and then a mistake for Burnley's winner. But it's just showing that they can compete, and they're competing well. So yeah, definitely not a game to be taken lightly tonight.
Paul Heckingbottom, when he looks at the last 3 performances, I go back to the Bristol City one that was ugly. They didn't play well, they were under the cosh, but still came out with a win, and then they played so fluidly on Saturday, second half especially. The fact that they're finding different ways to win, I think, will please him no end, won't it? Yeah,
definitely, and it's never plain sailing. Any league that you're in, you go through highs and lows in seasons, but also in games as well. And the fact that they're getting over the tough periods in those games, not conceding goals, because they went through a period where they were conceding too many goals. They find that out now, and obviously they're still scoring goals quite frequently, which is always a positive.
Let's have a look at the formation. I think we can guess what it is. It's the same as the weekend, and it's pretty much always the same. But when you look at that setup there, where do you think will be key on the field tonight for Sheffield United, Mark?
I always think the midfield battle is a massive area of the pitch, and I think we play well when we dominate the midfield and we have Ollie on the ball and he's switching play and bringing the full-backs into play, the wing-backs, sorry. And then obviously Ndiaye, he's such a key player. If we can get him on the ball and get him turned and run at defenders, every time I watch him he gets better and better.
And a win tonight takes them top, so an added incentive there for Sheffield United, Maddy.
Yeah, definitely, and I think especially going into the international break. Obviously, we've got Cardiff next game, but yeah, if we can end the break going off on a high and win the next 2 games, I mean, it's encouraging, and it's a place that we want to put ourselves in. So yeah, hopefully 3 points. That'd be brilliant.
Yeah. Blades chat all the way between now and 7:45. Let's hear from George Baldock, who I caught up with a short time ago, and he, for one, is guarding against complacency tonight.
Complacency, yeah, but also we know that they've got some dangerous threats, and they're going to be a totally different team to Burnley. They're going to pose us different problems, and I think people have alluded to it in the week. It's going to be a difficult task, and we need to be at our best.
In terms of confidence in that dressing room, just how high is it at the moment?
Yeah, obviously really high. We're doing well. We're still confident after those disappointing results because of the performances were there, and we've managed to pick up a good 9 points in a week, and we're thoroughly looking forward to tonight and hopefully making it 12.
How much of a statement was that on Saturday?
I'm not sure. It might be more of a statement to people watching from the outside, but we knew we were capable of that. Even going in at half time, we knew that we could definitely win the game, and everything just clicked for us in the second half. And like I said before, it's been coming in those games where we didn't pick up points that we wanted to. The performances were there, and we were just unlucky. And we always knew that a big performance was coming, and thankfully we managed to do it.
Was there a concerted effort to get on a winning run before the World Cup break?
It's always a concerted effort to just win games, put a run together, try and get as many points as possible. Obviously, it'd be nice going into that break, knowing that you have a few weeks where you are sitting top of the table. That's our aim. We've managed to put ourselves in a position where it's achievable, but it's now down to us to try and do that.
Not just points on the line tonight, but a pride at stake as well. Looking forward to that element of it?
Yeah, definitely. Local derby. Boys are up for it, want to win. The most important thing, though, is to go top of the league tonight. A
reminder, you can find all the details around the broadcasting regulations for tonight's game via the website. Match pass info there as well, sufc.co.uk. Well, I think we'd all agree, wouldn't we, that tonight's game has plenty to live up to after that thrilling game here just a few days ago against Burnley.
Headed away as far as Benson will hit one, deflection and in. Burnley strike first, and it's the unfortunate Jack Robinson who puts it past his own goalkeeper. In it goes, McBurnie jumps, it's alive in there. Who else? Iliman and Ndiaye. United back on level terms. It's his 9th of the season, and he's in the form of his life. Robinson cries of man on. He's run straight into Benson here. Benson for Burnley. And Burnley retake the lead. Mistake at the back from Jack Robinson. He knows it. Here is Robinson. Goes the cross. Flicked on. Chance for McBurnie. United back on level terms once again. Owen McBurnie on the score sheet once again. He's 8th of the season. It's 2 apiece. It's in, and the header rattles the bar from Armahodic, and then forced in. Is it? Yes! Jack Robinson for United. Redemption for the defender. A mistake at one end and a goal at the other, and it's 3-2. Norwood's delivery. Back in by Osborne, loose in the penalty area. Chance here and rifled in. Armahodic the scorer. United open up a 2-goal lead. An incredible second half at Bramall Lane. And El Armahodic denied twice. Not a third time. Chance here for Baldock, saved by the keeper McBurnie. It's a 5-star showing from Sheffield United. And it's a second for Ollie McBurnie. Big smiles all round for the Blades.
Yeah, some victory that, wasn't it? Well, Paul Heckingbottom afterwards felt that his side showed immense character to get the job done after what was a difficult start.
For them to score first in the manner they did, and Robbo has to go for that header, He makes clean contact on it and everyone's saying what a block. He's put his head in front of a shot, but it's took the slightest deflection and then put it past Wes. Sometimes they go like that, and we have been having that, And then we had to fight hard to get back into the game. We did it, and I thought gradually got stronger. And after we scored, there was a moment, a 5-minute spell, where they weren't really getting up to the ball against us, and I thought, right, this is the game for us now. And then they got the goal right before half time. Another mistake, whether the decision to throw out, the touch from Robbo. But nothing had changed. It was still the same game we're watching. We just happened to be 2-1 down. And I wouldn't say that was down to Burnley. So, yeah, to go in behind against a very good side, it's tough, but I think it was important that we understood what the first half was and where we were stronger than them, where we needed to improve, and also not be scared of really getting after them, you know. For me, you know I want to get after teams all the time, and I don't think Burnley's had anyone that really go after them like that. So, yeah, that was really important for us.
Well, they're on some run at the moment. After 6 games without a win, they've now won 3 in a row, Mark Duffy. But even in that winless run, I never got the sense of any kind of panic inside that dressing room.
No, as I said before, they've got so many experienced players who have been there and done it before, and for me that's a key thing, because when you are going through those tough periods, you do rely on those key players who have been there and done it before, and they've still got so many players who have been promoted to the Premier League, so they will rely on that. And when they was having that tough spell, you know, they still was playing well. They were conceding too many goals and making too many errors at the back, but once they've sorted that out, you know, the free-flowing scoring goals on.
You agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think as long as, like Mark said, you're playing well, you might be on the end of bad results, but when you've got those experienced players, you know that the wins will come, and then scoring goals is an important part, and they've shown that they can do that.
Interesting, Anel Ahmedhodzic was in here after the game saying that they all felt together in the dressing room at half-time that if they upped the press, they could go out and smash Burnley. His words, not mine. But it's interesting, isn't it, that they all felt that together and then took it out onto the field of play in the second half.
I think sometimes in games you get that sense of we've got these here, if we can just lift our levels a little bit more. I think Hecky touched on it then, you know, no one's really gone after Burnley like that and really pressed them with that aggression, especially when we get the crowd behind us and stuff. You know, once we did step onto them and make it difficult for them, we've seen that, you know, they made mistakes and, you know, and we punished them for that.
And scoring goals off set plays is always a bonus for a manager, but they didn't, of course, have it, didn't they, on Saturday for that Burnley defence?
Yeah, Jack Robinson's long throw was troublesome for them
Some
throughout the whole
that,
game. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, it's a great another great way to score goals, and yeah, it was great for them to score a few.
Just on Jack as well, like I was so pleased for him to get the goal, because obviously
definitely
he had the 2 incidents in the first half where, you know, you could see he put his head in his hands for the second goal, where, you know, it was his mistake for the goal, but then for him to go down the other end and score a goal and really give us that emphasis to go on and win the game, it's pleasing to see, because many players can, you know, go into the shell.
Crumble in situations like that.
I think that just shows the team spirit of the team as well, and like I say, when they're going through that bad run, shows that they're all together and they're all wanting each other to do well. So
well, you've seen Ollie McBurnie celebrating with them there. It was like Ollie had scored the goal as well. They were all so delighted for him, and that together.
Well, he is obviously tough mentally, because he had a rough spell last season when he first came in, got through that, and then he almost became indispensable towards the end of the season. He's such a warrior for Sheffield United, isn't he? He gives absolutely everything, and you know, he was putting the tackles in on Saturday. He's fierce in the tackle, strong in the tackle. Manuel Benson won't want to come anywhere near him again. But that's what he is. He's wholehearted and gives everything. Yeah,
and Hecky touched on it. You know, he had to sort of go for that block for the first goal. And you know, if it does hit him flush, we all talk and say, "Oh, what a great block!" Because that's what type of player he is. He's wholehearted. He puts his body on the line, and then there was a tackle on the touchline where he's absolutely lifted Benson, and that's what we want to see.
I want to talk about Ollie McBurnie now. Talking about players who've come through tough spells, he certainly is one of those. But what a transformation between last season and this. What is it, do you feel, that he's doing at the moment that's allowing him to go on this incredible scoring run?
I just think it's, you know, confidence. I know confidence is a big thing in football. You know, playing regularly. Now he's got that partnership with Ilman. You know, they're really good for each other, to be honest. And just I say, just confidence now that he's scoring goals, because he was doing so much of the good stuff but wasn't getting the rewards for that, because at the end of the day, goal scorers, they're judged on goals, aren't they? So you can do all the good stuff in the world, but we just want him to put the ball in the back of the net, and he is doing that now.
2 goals and an assist at the weekend, 11 shots as well, which is a championship record for a striker this season in one game. So that shows you how confident he is in front of goal at the moment. When he senses an opportunity to score, he's taking it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And like from the game at the weekend, he was fantastic throughout for the whole 90 minutes. And to get his goals and assists, that's all you want from your number 9. And he's consistently doing that this season. So hopefully he can score again tonight and obviously carry that through the rest of the season, and that'll be really good for United.
And you want him in the trenches with you as well. If it boils over, he's first there, isn't he? As we saw on Saturday, he's straight in.
Yeah.
Again, he's another player who gives us all. Even when he was going through the tough times, you know, he would give us all for the team. He would play injured, like he's got a knock now and stuff. You know, and he'll put his body on the line for the team. That's all you can ask.
Yeah, I mean, he's seen as the focal point in the attack, obviously because of his height and his stature, but he's decent with his feet as well, isn't he? He's good with the ball on the deck.
Yeah, he's shown that, and I think that's why him and Illiman complement each other so well. So he's kind of like the target man, which Illiman plays off, but also they can switch around and interchange that. If Illiman wants to kind of run in beyond defenders, McBurnie can show that he can be that link-up player, and I think interchangeably them working like that is causing defences problems and shows why they play so well together.
We've got some comparisons here that have been put together. I'm not entirely sure this is necessarily fair because he's been compared to Alexander Mitrovic and where he was at this point last season. But you can see in several areas there McBurnie is outshining Alexander Mitrovic. What I would say at this point is, as well as McBurnie has done 9 goals, no one's mocking that. Mitrovic had 22 goals at this point after 19 games last season. Yeah. So, you know, maybe they picked the wrong player to compare him with because he was just simply outstanding last season, Mitrovic. Having said that, you know, when you look at the departments where McBurnie is outshining Mitrovic, that's not to be scoffed at either, is it?
Definitely, you know, looking at both of them, you know, what I would take from that, you can say McBurnie, how well he is doing this season, you know, but comparing him to Mitrovic, you know, he had an unbelievable season, scoring 43 goals. So if
you don't think Ollie's going to get 43?
If he can get anywhere near that, I think we'll absolutely be delighted. But as I say, you know, I think it's just highlighting how well he is doing because, like we said before, he did go through a bit of a tough time and a purple patch in front of goal. But now he is getting the rewards for all the hard work and that he has put in.
Maddy, you touched on the partnership with Illiman. Just to go a little bit deeper into that, why? I'll ask you as well in a minute, Mark, but why do you feel that it works so well, that partnership? Why is it flourishing?
Yeah, I think, as I touched on before, I think Ollie's shown that he can do both. He can be the target man up top. Like we saw in the last game, he's winning a lot of headers, which Illiman's getting on the end of, and they can kind of interchange whether Illiman wants to run in behind and Ollie can be the link man, or if Ollie stays higher, he's then winning the balls, which are then coming down for Illy to then kind of do his thing and run at defenders, which he's shown that he's fantastic at, and he's done really, really well this season. And it has really is shown his how good he is. And I think everyone's been impressed, and rightly so. I think a lot of us knew the talent that he had, but he's shown that consistently this season. And yeah, they're both a pair that a lot of defenders will be scared to come up against. Yeah,
definitely. Everything what Maddy's just said, you know. It's a real classic, like, little and large partnership, and they dovetail brilliantly with each other. Ollie, obviously, you know, is a big target man. He takes all the knocks and brings people into play, and then that allows Illiman to get into those little half spaces and get turned and get running at players, and he really, you know, stretches the play as well. So it's just a really nice partnership that they've got, and it looks like they enjoy playing with each other.
And the work rate off the ball as well is something that stands out. It's not just when they've got it, it's what they're doing when United are out with possession that obviously leads to them being able to get on the front foot again.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
No. You go.
Yeah, they're both aggressive, both McBurnie and Illy off the ball. Both got a lot of pace, and like I say, you see them chasing defenders down and putting them under pressure, and the amount of times I think of them won the ball back, especially higher up the pitch, which they've then been able to capitalise on or make a chance out of. Like I say, it shows the quality off the ball, but also how hard working they are for the team out of possession as well.
Yeah, and all good teams, they start defending from the front, you know. No matter what team there is, they press high from the front and they recover the ball. And there's one thing that I've been really impressed with Illiman this year is his work rate off the ball. It is phenomenal, you know. And I think he has gotten stronger this year, and you don't really see him getting dispossessed as much as he was, you know, previously. So, you know, once he wins that ball in those high areas, he's much closer to goal, so there's no wonder they're scoring and creating more chances.
Let's have a look at the league table then. This is how it looks. Sheffield United coming into this one tonight. 3rd position, but with Burnley and Blackburn not playing, a win takes them top of the table on goal difference. So a big incentive there for Sheffield United. Rotherham United down in 17th in the table. We'll come on to Rotherham in a bit more detail a little bit later on. And the recent form speaks for itself, really. They went for a sticky patch, didn't they, Sheffield United? But they've won 3 in a row after 6 games without a win. That victory at West Brom, a really gutsy display. Not the best of performances down at Bristol City, but they still came away with all 3 points. Then an absolutely sensational performance here on Saturday against Burnley, winning by 5 goals to 2. Right, time to delve into the archives now. Back to March 2019 at Bramall Lane, where coincidentally one of the goal scorers isn't too far away from me tonight. Mark Duffy, it's your moment, sir.
Yeah, I remember the game fondly. Obviously Jack O'Connell scores a well-worked set piece. He doesn't score many, Jack, so he was delighted with that goal. And funny enough, me and Jack usually always score or in the same games as well, and then I scored the 2nd goal in that game. It was a good goal. Comes to me on the box, on the edge of the box. It just sits up and I end up striking it nice. But it was a good game against Rotherham. It was games that were always fiercely contested as well.
Will Volk sent off, quite rightly I think, for that challenge on George Baldock.
Yeah.
Your big moment's coming up?
It's coming up in a minute, yeah. But I'd say they were always fantastic games against Rotherham. You know, fiercely contested games, obviously being a local derby, and we had a lot of opportunities to take the game away from them. But yeah,
quite a few chances in this game. McGoldrick just scooping that one over. George Baldock trying his luck as well from distance. So you had Rotherham on the ropes here for a fair amount of time in this game.
Yeah, definitely.
Chance after chance after chance.
This is the goal. Flecky works his magic. Dinks in between 2 players. I just swung a boot at it.
And then just a left foot swinger from Mark Duffy finding the top corner.
Yeah.
Not bad at all, that strike.
Yeah.
We'll let you have that one.
Didn't score many outside the box.
But you're telling us tonight you scored an even better one in the reverse fixture.
Yeah,
and we've had to go digging around to find it so we could play it. But here we go.
I preferred the away goal, yeah.
This is the one at the New York Stadium.
Yeah, and Enda breaks the play up and then show a bit of composure. Bottom corner.
Nicely done. What's a fellow professional think of that one?
Yeah,
Maddy?
great finish. Yeah, great finish.
You had to say that.
No, as I say, brilliant season and brilliant memories.
But the manager not too happy at the end of that game, was he?
Definitely not, no. We had to rely on Dean Henderson to keep us in the game, and obviously going into the dressing room expecting to win that game, I'd just say he wasn't too pleased.
Well, we'll see what we get tonight. Sheffield United locking horns with Rotherham United, and plenty more action coming your way. Well, I say that, there's one more game to come after this one before we pause for the World Cup, of course. Sheffield United away at Cardiff this coming weekend, 3 o'clock kickoff. We're on air from 2, and then on the other side of the World Cup, we are back in action on the 10th of December against Huddersfield, on air again from 2 o'clock, and then Wigan are the opponents on the 19th of December, 8 o'clock kickoff for that one. We start at 7. And we have some women's football to update you on as well. Yes, Maddy can tell us all about this. Sheffield United women against London City Lionesses. Your last game was called off due to the weather. You must be itching to get going again.
Yeah, we can't wait, and a little bit of a while to wait with it being the 20th of November. But yeah, I mean, to be back playing at Bramall Lane, we love playing here. Really excited for that one.
Are you trying to break the record for the attendance, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Our last record attendance was against Liverpool last season, which we got 4,100. So yeah, we're looking to go one better and try and break that record for a game against London City.
And how much are you enjoying playing at Bramall Lane?
Yeah, it's amazing. The girls love it. It's amazing to play. Obviously here at Bramall Lane, it's a great stadium, fantastic pitch, and it's nice to play in the centre of Sheffield as well. Definitely feels like home for us, and yeah, we all love it.
And the season so far? Bit up and down?
Yeah, up and down. Started really well. Our form's not been the best latterly, but looking to change that, and what better way to do that in front of a lot of people, hopefully a big crowd here in the next couple of weeks.
There you go. If you're struggling for something to do that weekend, get yourself down here to Bramall Lane. Let's break that record. Give your support to the Sheffield United's women. Let's recap the team news here for the men at Bramall Lane tonight. And the Blades are unchanged against Rotherham United. Nice and straightforward. I don't think we should be surprised that it is the same starting 11 for the Blades tonight. Just a change on the bench. James McAtee coming on to the bench for Sheffield United tonight. And this is how they'll line up, and it's the usual thing really, 3-5-2. Stevens and Baldock in the wing-back positions, Ahmed Hodzic, Egan and Robinson at the back, Norwood, Fleck and Osborne in midfield. And then it's the lethal partnership of Ollie McBurnie and Iliman and Ndiaye, 9 goals apiece, 18 goals between them. More than half of Sheffield United's goals have been scored by that pair there, so it tells you how well they're doing at the moment. Let's take a look at Rotherham United's recent form now, tonight's visitors. It doesn't make for great reading, but it can be a little bit misleading when you look at performances, because they have been in games, they've been competing very well also. This is how they line up tonight. 4 changes for them. Hall, Wood, Norton, Cuffy and Washington, the players out. In, Peltier, Humphreys, Bramall and Ogbeni. So we think Johansson in goal, a back 3 of Harding, Peltier and Humphreys, Kioso and Bramall will be the wing-backs, Lindsay, Barker and Rathbone in midfield, Wiles playing just off Chidozie, Ogbeni. So their recent form looks like this. They've lost 4 of the last 5, but they have been well in games, and I think they'll take a lot of comfort from that. They're not getting hammered by teams.
Yeah, definitely, and obviously the times I've seen Rotherham play, as you just said then, they're always in the game and they always make it competitive. They never get beat by many goals, so you know it will be a tough game. We'll have to set our stall out quite early in the game, and really get the crowd involved and get after them really and make it difficult.
Change of manager this season as well, but he has them playing good football. He's got a philosophy that is an attractive style of football. He showed that at Exeter. He seems to have brought it here to Rotherham. What kind of a challenge do you think they represent for the Blades tonight, Maddy?
Yeah, I think like when any new manager comes in, he'll want to implement his style of play, and was successful at Exeter, and he'll be looking to put that in. And the longer he's at the club, the more that they'll be trying to play in that way. But yeah, kind of expecting nothing less than a tenacious, spirited side tonight that are going to press and going to be hard to break down, and again a tough challenge.
Well, we've picked out some players that are worth keeping an eye on for Rotherham United tonight. Cohen Bramall is back from suspension. He was sent off against Burnley, but he's back in the team tonight, very quick as well. Dan Barlasser, a key man in midfield, good with the ball at his feet. He's chipped in with a couple of goals this season as well. Ben Wiles, local lad playing for his hometown club. He's got a famous grandfather connected to Sheffield United. He is the grandson of Eddie Colloon, no less. Ollie Rathbone also has football in the family, son of former Birmingham and Blackburn defender Mick Rathbone, scored on Saturday as well. He's a real terrier in midfield, he'll be everywhere. And Chidozie Ogbeni, their top scorer, 6 goals in all competitions, 5 in the league, a Republic of Ireland international, just come back from injury, and on his day he can be a match winner. He is a box of tricks, quick. You never quite know though what you're going to get from him. He can be extremely unpredictable, but he knows where the net is. He is a threat tonight, no doubt, for Rotherham United. Right, time now for our exclusive interview with Jack Robinson, who had an up and down afternoon at the weekend.
Yeah, it's just up and down, really. Obviously the first half was a bit of a mess from myself, but it's one of them things in football, mistakes happen, so you bounce back, and that's all I could do. We spoke about it at our time, trying to help the team, and it was weird because a couple of us were saying we had the feeling that I was going to score, and obviously getting the 3rd goal just settled everything down, and we took control from there and got the 4th and 5th.
How mentally strong do you have to be when something like that happens in the first half? Are you a type of player who can pick themselves up, or do you need your teammates perhaps to rally around you as well?
No, I think it's a bit of both, isn't it? I was obviously disappointed at our time, just kept quiet, didn't really want to say anything. Obviously that's when your teammates get round you because you can see you down and that, and I kind of just took it on board and thought, you know what, I've got nothing to lose now. Second half we'll go out and try and get the goals back, and we did.
Tell us about the goal then. It was a real striker's goal, wasn't it, in the 6-yard area, lashing onto a second ball?
Yeah, a little poacher's finish. Just just instinct really, just to try and get touch on it, and goalkeeper was off his line and it just kind of looped in. It was nice, great feeling, and obviously like proud to get the goal and the third goal to make up for the first half.
You ended last season in great form, so how frustrating has it been then to miss the start of this season, and how good is it to be back?
Yeah, I mean, obviously getting injured the day before the first game it's not what you want, but recovered quickly. Quite a serious injury, but yeah, recovered quickly and was just ready to get going. Been ready for like the last 3 or 4 weeks and was just waiting for that opportunity, and obviously it came against Bristol, so yeah, and I've not looked back since. And obviously like first half on Saturday was just a bit rusting it from myself, but you can expect that and, you know, learn and improve from that.
Not much time to bask in the glory of a win and for a goal as well for yourself, because the small matter of a South Yorkshire derby to come tomorrow against Rotherham.
Yeah, on Tuesday, so it's the champ, isn't it? Saturday, Tuesday every week nearly, so that's what I mean, just get ready. We had the day off yesterday, so back in today and hopefully ready for the game tomorrow. And
what do you make of Rotherham? They seem to be pushing every side in this league right to the max. It's going to be a tough game, isn't it?
Yeah, it will be, especially because it's a derby as well. Like it's that added extra pressure, but it's at home, so I think we fancy our chances. We just keep playing how we have been and keep scoring the goals, and I'm pretty sure we'll get the 3 points. And nice to recreate the atmosphere they experienced in the second half against Burnley as well. Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously the crowd got, even when I made the mistakes, the crowd would be behind me. I could hear them on the side, you know, trying to get behind me and lift me confidence, which helps a lot. So I appreciated that, and yeah, we'll just go on and give it our all.
He's right, the fans were behind him when he was going through that sticky spell in the first half on Saturday. That would have meant the world to him, I'm sure, because some fans might have turned at that point, but they were firmly behind him.
Yeah, definitely, and you know, obviously, you know, everyone could feel and see, you know, he was going through some pain there, because obviously he knows he's cost the team a goal, but it just shows the character that he's got, that he will roll his sleeves up and he'll dig in and he'll continue to perform. And I was really pleased he got that goal, because there was probably no better feeling for him than that goal, because he would have felt really guilty for giving that goal away, do you know what I mean? Because it was a sloppy goal.
And I know we talk about Illiman and McBurnie being in the headlines for scoring the goals, but the fact that centre halves are chipping in is an added bonus, isn't it? Anel on the other side, you know, he's been in terrific goal scoring form this season. So if you can get your centre backs chipping in with the odd goal or two, that's always a help, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. Like you say, the more different players that can come up and help with goals, the better. And it was great to see him kind of get his goal and kind of make his amends. But like we said, he's such an easy player to like, because he gives his all and he puts 100% in. So no wonder the fans were behind him, and I think everyone was so happy for him when he scored that goal. You crossed paths with him many times in the past? Yeah, obviously being a fellow Scouser, so... You all know each other, don't you? We all know each other, yeah. It's like a small village. But no, yeah, obviously crossed past him a few times and played against him many times as well. And I'd say, you know what you're going to get. He wholehearted, you know, loves a tackle, and he will give us all for it as long as he's on that pitch. Right, let's hear from Enda Stevens now. He's recently come back from injury. He expects Rotherham United to provide a stiff test tonight.
Yeah, it's a tough game. I watched them against Burnley last week. I think they were very unlucky. So we're expecting a really hard game against them, and it'll be a good one, obviously, for the fans, hopefully. And complacency was the word that Stuart McCall mentioned. I'm sure that, you know, none of you kind of want to take your eyes off the ball and just continue the excellent run that you're on. Yeah, huge. If you can put a run together in this league, it's huge. It's massive, and we always say consistency is key if you want to get out of this division, and that's what we want to do, and that's what we'll be looking to. We'll have to be on our best game, especially against Rotherham, because it's a derby, as you said, so we're expecting the best Rotherham to come to Bramall Lane and try to get a win. And do you think the league is there for the taking this year if somebody can put some consistent results together, because everyone's struggled at times? I think everyone will struggle at times over the course of a season. It's just, you can't really look at a league table now. It's still early, you know. I don't even think we're at the halfway point. So we just got to focus on ourselves. It's the old cliche, it's one game at a time, and especially at home, we want to keep that good home form that we've accumulated over the last, well, I don't know how many years the gaffer's been in charge, a year and a half now, is it? So we want to keep that kind of keep that going and don't let that drop. A reminder that all of the info surrounding the match pass and broadcasting regulations for tonight's fixture, you can find all of that at the website sufc.co.uk. Right, prediction time, Mark Duffy, because you're on commentary duty tonight. What are you going for
I am going to go for 3-1 Blades.
3-1?
3-1, yeah. More
Do you think
goals.
they will concede tonight?
No. We win the game 3-1.
Okay,
That's the main thing.
Scorers, do you want to enlighten us?
Oh, scorers, well, go McBurnie, Ndiaye and Hoddage.
Okay, we shall see if that comes to fruition. We'll get Maddy's prediction. You're not getting away with this either. We'll get yours in just a wee while. Don't worry about that. But we're going to hear from Blades assistant boss Stuart McCall now and get his thoughts on this one. He, for one, is certainly guarding against complacency, but after that win over Burnley, he acknowledges that expectations will have risen.
It does, and the biggest thing we've rattled on about since Saturday, and it goes for the staff, it goes for the players, it goes for the supporters, it goes for everyone that's turning up as a Sheffield United supporter on Tuesday. We can't be complacent. I've seen Rotherham live twice this season. I saw them at home at Watford, where I thought they were quite unfortunate. Watford played well, but they were unfortunate to get beat at home. And I saw them at Burnley the other night, where a couple of decisions have gone against them. There's no doubt about that. I think it was a harsh second yellow card, but they showed a great spirit, got a lot of energy about them. Certainly in the wide areas, up top and in midfield, they've got a lot of energy. And we'll have to look back to last season, another South Yorkshire derby when Barnsley came here, and Barnsley were in the lower half of the table, and I'm not saying certainly in our dressing room it didn't, but a lot of people expect you, especially when you've just beat the top of the league by 5 goals, people are turning up thinking, oh, this is going to be, a walk in the park or whatever. 100%, we know different. Again, I'll go back to the Barnsley game last season. The first half, they were right at it, and we came in at half-time 0-0, and it was probably as poor as we've been. But it gave us a shake-up. So we've got to make sure we start the game properly on Tuesday night. We've got a lot of respect for them, there's no doubt about that, but we're in a good place at the moment, so we've got to show that energy and that quality that we've got. But definitely so they've got a lot of good bits to the group. They'll play totally different to Burnley. They'll test us in different ways. There's no doubt about that. But again, as much as we'll analyse them, which we have done, and look at them, it's the same old message when we go out. It's about what we do. We're at home. We've got to go and make sure we stamp our authority on the game.
Oh, it's miserable weather out there, but it's a great night for football. What better conditions could you wish for a local derby than pouring rain, a slick surface, and a big game to go with it as well? It's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, perfect for those tackles flying in.
Exactly.
I'm sure they'll love the slickness of the pitch tonight. But yeah, I mean, footballers, you love playing in this kind of weather.
Is this the kind of surface where, if you're getting in and around the box, you take that shot and keep it on the ground, try and catch the keeper out?
Oh yeah,
100%. Well, it is a sold-out Bramall Lane tonight as well, so they'll be making themselves heard, no doubt. Sheffield United against Rotherham United from just down the road. And again, right at the start, I've used the word, and lots of people we've heard from have used the word complacency. There can't afford to be any in that dressing room, can there? I'm sure there won't, but that'll be the message, won't it? Don't take this for granted.
Yeah, they've got 2 games now before the international break, so they want to go on a high and they want to win both of those, and to do that they need to not be complacent, as you mentioned. Hopefully continue their form of late and get 3 points tonight.
Who's key for you tonight, do you feel?
I think the 2 front men, Illiman and Ndiaye, and McBurnie, they've both been fantastic, so for them 2 tonight, we'll be looking for them to score the goals as they have been. But yeah, those 2 for sure.
What kind of a game plan would you expect Rotherham to have? Their manager, Matt Taylor, has said that they're not going to come here and sit in, they're going to have a go, but he's got to find the right balance, I suppose, hasn't he, between not being too cavalier against a team that's, at the top of the game at the moment.
Yeah, and they've shown that, and they've shown that they like to go after teams. Went after Burnley, went after Norwich, ran them both close. Played over 100 minutes Wednesday and a tough game at the weekend, so whether they do look to sit in a bit tonight, I wouldn't be too surprised. Also a depleted squad, but we'll see. I think it's a derby, so they'll definitely want to come after United.
Yeah, missing some key players tonight. I guess in some respects they've got nothing to lose coming here and everything to gain.
Yeah, and that's always a dangerous position to be in and a dangerous team to play against, because like you say, they don't have anything to lose. They'll be wanting to get a win, as do we, derby game. But yeah, I think they'll definitely be coming after United tonight, and something that they'll have to be wary of, being pressed.
Mark Duffy's gone for a 3-1 Blades victory. What are you looking at?
I'm going to go for a 2-0 win United. I'd love for us to get a clean sheet. So yeah, I'll go with that.
Scorers?
Again, McBurnie and Ndiaye.
Oh, it's an obvious choice, isn't it, really, with the form that those two are in. Well, the atmosphere building up very nicely here tonight. Sheffield United against Rotherham United, welcoming their South Yorkshire neighbours to Bramall Lane. Rotherham haven't won at Bramall Lane for donkey's years. Hopefully that continues here tonight as Sheffield United seek a 4th consecutive win under the lights here at Bramall Lane in front of their own supporters. The Blades are unchanged for this one. Rotherham United making 4 changes. They're in a wretched run of form at the moment, going through a horrendous injury crisis as well, and they haven't been getting the rub of the green with some of the refereeing decisions of late either. You can go to the website right now for all of broadcast regulations and match pass information, sufc.co.uk. But it's going to be some atmosphere tonight. It's crackling already out there, isn't it?
Yeah, nothing better to be at Bramall Lane on a Tuesday night. Yeah, fantastic game, action-packed, jam-packed crowd. Hopefully it'll be a good game for me to get the 3 points.
And the incentive of going top of the table is what is in front of Sheffield United tonight. With Burnley and Blackburn not playing, 3 points takes them to the top. Can they get them? We're about to find out. Let's hand you over to your commentary team tonight, Mark Duffy and Matt Young.
The final home game before the World Cup breaks, Leeds United welcome Rotherham to Bramall Lane for the first South Yorkshire derby of the season. Poor Wacky bottom side, but they've won the last 3 outings, but they face a Miller's team who have proven they can give any side in this